Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever pictured that perfect Hawaiian wedding? The one that's not just beautiful and meaningful, but, and this is the big one, actually stress-free. Well, if that's what you're dreaming of, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to dive into a tradition that could be the perfect heart of your celebration.
Just look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? This right here is more than just a pretty object. It's a keepsake from something called a Unity Sand Ceremony. It is literally a beautiful physical symbol of two lives blending together into one, and honestly, it's such a perfect fit for a wedding in paradise.
All right, let's get into it. What makes this such a perfect Hawaiian tradition? We're going to break down exactly what this ceremony is all about and why its meaning just clicks so perfectly with the whole vibe of a Hawaiian wedding.
So, at its core, the Unity Sand Ceremony is incredibly simple but so profound. Basically, the couple pours sands of different colors into one single vase or container. Every grain of sand can represent a memory, a moment, a piece of who they are as individuals. And as they pour them together, it creates this beautiful new pattern, symbolizing how their two lives are now one inseparable union.
And this is where it gets really smart, especially for a beach wedding. A lot of us have seen the Unity Candle Ceremony, right? But if you're on a breezy beach in Hawaii, well, good luck keeping that flame lit. The sand ceremony, on the other hand, is totally windproof. Plus, and I love this part, while the flame from a candle is a beautiful memory, the sand becomes this lasting work of art that you can put on your shelf and cherish forever.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Having a beautiful ceremony is the dream, but we all know that planning a wedding, especially a destination wedding, can feel like a huge source of stress. It's all those little details that can make or break the whole experience.
So that leads us to the big question, right? How in the world do you create this calm, beautiful, symbolic moment without getting completely buried in the stress of planning it all?
Well, the answer really comes down to having the right person in your corner. For a wedding on Oahu that is seamless, stress-free, and truly feels luxurious, the expert you absolutely need to know is Reverend James Chun.
And let me tell you, he is not new to this. We're talking about more than 20 years in the Hawaii wedding industry. That kind of deep experience is just priceless when you're planning one of the biggest days of your life from thousands of miles away. I mean, his credentials really speak for themselves. He's a licensed officiant, he's been nominated for Officiant of the Year, and he is so deeply connected in the local wedding scene. But that means for you is that he gets how a ceremony should flow, he works perfectly with photographers and other vendors, and he handles all that crucial behind-the-scenes stuff, like beach permits and marriage licenses, so you don't even have to think about it.
But don't just take my word for it. The most powerful proof of his incredible work comes straight from the real couples who have stood with him on their wedding day.
This quote from Steph and Mario just hits the nail on the head. It gets right to that core anxiety of planning from a distance. They said that from the very first email, they just knew they were in great hands. That immediate sense of relief is everything.
Then you have Grace and Michael who talk about his calming presence. Think about it. On a day that's so full of nerves and excitement, having an officiant who is just calm, focused, and reassuring, that is a total game changer. It lets you relax and actually be present for the moment.
And this one from Natalie and Saul, wow. This is what separates a good ceremony from an unforgettable one. That ability to make it feel so personal and thoughtful, like he's known you forever. That's not something you can script. That's the magic of a real professional.
And that personal touch, it extends so beautifully to families. The Unity Sand Ceremony is just a wonderful visual way to include children, making it about more than just two people getting married. It's about two families becoming one. And Reverend Chun is a master at crafting these unique moments that tell each couple's specific story.
So, if a meaningful, beautiful, and, most importantly, an expertly guided wedding in Hawaii is what you're dreaming of, then your next step is really simple.
You'll want to head straight to HawaiiWeddingMinister.com. That's where you can see all of his wedding packages, check out the incredible Oahu locations he works with, and really start to bring your vision to life.
And for a little daily dose of wedding paradise in your feed, you've got to follow @Oahu Minister on Instagram. It is the perfect place to get inspired and start picturing what your own day could look like.
So, the only question left is, are you ready to swap all that planning stress for a memory you'll cherish for a lifetime? Are you ready to create your own beautiful keepsake in paradise with a true expert leading the way?